Well, you talked about how you found out that they're trying to set up Drake in LA at one point. What exactly was that about?
That was about like him and Diddy were beefing, right? They had a little beef over something in Miami outside of
I think Diddy allegedly did him or something. I think it was over the start from the bottom beat, where I guess it's supposed to go to Diddy and Drake took it and something silly.
You know, Drake here, Drake there. Who will run up on him? I'm not saying that. You know, it didn't come from Diddy directly, but LA get tricky. So you know, when there are beefs and they are here, no matter who it is, like there's certain people that don't get called, and I'm one of those people. So you know, I had privy, you know, Drake to a little information. Like I said, I don't know where it came from, but I always, you know, it's like my brother. So I hit him. I told him like, yo, this is what it is. But I got you. You know, we over here, and I'm pretty heavy. So, you know, we straight.
Well, it looks like Katt Williams was right. Rappers really are getting exposed. It's now being reported that Drake's name is mentioned in the Diddy tapes, and not just his name. You can allegedly hear Drake screaming too. That claim hit hard. But when you take a step back and look at all the information that's been stacking up since 2014, it doesn't seem so far-fetched anymore. This Diddy trial has brought everything to light, and for the first time, it's all starting to line up. Back in 2014, something happened that set the tone for all of this. In the early hours of December 8th, during a VMA after-party, Diddy and Drake got into a serious altercation. Multiple outlets confirmed it, with reports claiming that Diddy caught Drake slipping outside the club and gave him a brutal beatdown. It was even reported that Drake had to go to the emergency room afterward.
For so long, and having dealings with him. What was the first thing you thought when you heard the story about him allegedly punching Drake?
He said, "You clicked him." I actually thought Drake must have said something wrong to him or something, or did something, or tried to play him. Something must have happened. I actually really didn't, you know, I kind of just laughed. It's funny.
You know? Although there was no footage of this, based on people that I've spoken to close to the situation, Diddy really did punch Drake.
Oh, I got that call 4 o'clock in the morning.
Diddy later tried to play it off, going on air and claiming he never laid a hand on Drake, like the world didn't already know what really went down.
Like, what made you put hands on Drake?
I did not put hands on Drake.
Oh.
And I do not want any problems with Drake. Drake is, right now, that's all I got now. That's all I have to say. He's putting in his work. I didn't do nothing to Drake.
But according to multiple media outlets and eyewitnesses, Diddy did put hands on Drake. Even 50 Cent backed it up, saying Diddy couldn't recognize a hit if it was served to him. The whole situation supposedly stemmed from the 0 to 100 beat. Diddy believed it was his, but Drake heard it, used it, and turned it into a hit. That move got under Diddy's skin, and everything came to a head that night in Miami.
Puff, that's what Puff was going down to. But Puff can't even hear it. I know he couldn't.
Puff can't hear a hit? That's kind of crazy.
He still hears things from back then.
Got you now.
Right.
Okay.
You can't buy it right. You play for him right now, and it's hot. You can't buy it. This is why he's fighting Drake. When you hit Drake, because he used the beat that he didn't actually use.
0 to 100.
Right, you see what I'm saying? So if you heard it, and then you hear Drake use it, but it wasn't a hit yet until Drake put the lines on it. He was upset about that because he can't hear it, but he felt like he put something.
But that wasn't the end of it. That was just Diddy letting off steam. Behind the scenes, things were moving way differently. In August 2015, Diddy went on The Breakfast Club claiming it was all love and no beef, but at the same time, he allegedly had a bag on Drake's head. Word around LA was that Diddy let it be known there was a quiet but very real reward for anyone who caught Drake slipping. That's why people around the city started moving funny.
Well, you talked about how you found out that they're trying to set up Drake in LA at one point. What exactly was that about?
That was about like him and Diddy were beefing, right? They had a little beef over something in Miami outside of
I think Diddy allegedly did him or something. I think it was over the start from the bottom beat, where I guess it's supposed to go to Diddy and Drake took it and something silly.
Sources from LA said there were calls going around, Drake's here, Drake's there. That's when Drake made one of his smartest moves. He linked up with the Game. Game had real pull in the streets and knew how to move in that kind of environment. If Diddy really had that kind of power in LA, Drake understood he needed someone equally tapped in. Game confirmed it in his own way, saying people reached out to him and asked him to line Drake up. But instead of going through with it, he played defense. He looked out for Drake.
You know, Drake here, Drake there, who will run up on him. I'm not saying that, you know, it didn't come from Diddy directly, but LA get tricky. So, you know, when there are beefs and they are here, no matter who it is, like there's certain people that are gonna get caught, and I'm one of those people. So, you know, I had privy, you know, Drake to a little information. Like I said, I don't know where it came from, but I always, you know, it's like my brother. So I hit him. I told him like, yo, this is what it is. But I got you. You know, we over here, and I'm pretty heavy. So, you know, we straight.
But the Game made it clear that kind of protection doesn't come for free. So Drake gave him the record 100 and even shot the video in Compton. That move wasn't about street cred, it was about survival.
Y'all better not come to my studio with that fake shit. Y'all better not come to my funeral with that fake shit. Y'all better off.
If you listen closely, Game said it all on the track. NS called me to set you up, want me to come and wet you up, 'cause you out of town too, like Biggie. Then heard about the SHT Diddy on, so I came through to vest you up. Just like that. The beef had receipts. Even with Game backing him, Drake was still moving cautiously. During the shoot for 100, Wack said Drake got spooked. He saw some folks he didn't recognize, panicked and jumped in a van to dip out, even though those guys were actually there to protect him. Drake wasn't trying to take any chances. Wack had to chase him down and explain the situation before they could get back to filming.
And Drake comes to Compton to shoot the video. 100. He shot it on Brazilian women. What all happened during that video? What was that? He pulled up. Drake gave his love. Hunter cleared it for me. Didn't charge me. Drake didn't charge for the verse. Drake actually brought this film through to film it for us. What he wanted to do. We was on the famous Brazilian women just shooting it. We had to move blocks. You know, when we move blocks, we send the little homies to do what they need to do. Drake kind of seen some activity and, you know, shit. He did what a you supposed to do. He got out of there. And he sent somebody to get him. Bro, it's cool. That ain't for you. That's for us. And you know, we see going on. You know, we moving blocks. We're not just going to hit the block without the block being right. So we had to make sure the homies, you know, when they cleared the block.
Fast forward to now. Diddy's in court facing serious federal charges. But it's what Cassie said on the stand that flipped the whole story. During her redirect, prosecutors asked what triggered Diddy to wild out and put hands on her. Her answer: she was headed to OVO Fest, Drake's festival. She told the court, Sean came to my home and tried to attack me. And here's the kicker: she still went. Even after all that, Cassie caught her flight to Toronto and attended OVO Fest. The entire courtroom was shook.
So Cassie, she said Diddy whooped her ass and found out she was going to OVO Fest. So this is apparently some insight into the real reason why Diddy don't with Drake.
Don't nobody with Drake. Drake is a slimy nigga. He make great music, but Drake is the type of nigga who he can have any bitch in the club. Any bitch. They can all be 12. But you walk in with one, he wants that now.
Now, if that doesn't scream motive, what does? Diddy felt like Drake was taking his girl, and it wasn't just a feeling. A 2013 rumor resurfaced during the trial, claiming Drake might have signed Cassie to his OVO imprint. Whether it was official or not didn't matter. In Diddy's mind, Drake was moving in on his turf. A tweet from Lil Duval also came back into circulation. He said, "Back then, I heard Diddy swung on Drake in Miami for saying hello to Cassie. Folks laughed it off at the time, but now it's making a whole lot more sense. And Drake, he'd been dropping clues. On 4 p.m. in Calabasas, the whole track reads differently now. Bars like, all you self-promoters are janky, and they try and tempt me. The higher I get, the less they accept me. Even the OGs trying to press me. Then came the shot. Take that. Mocking Diddy's signature phrase, followed by, no love in their heart, so they fake that, and no way out. A direct nod to Diddy's classic album. Drake wasn't just rapping, he was telling a story through the bars. But nobody pieced it together until now. He even touched on domestic issues with lyrics like, "That man is not a man for you, scared of letting your skeletons loose." It's starting to look like Cassie may have confided in Drake about her experiences way before any of this hit the courtroom. Now back to Katt Williams, he said what nobody wanted to believe. According to him, several rappers and execs are on those Diddy tapes, not just mentioned but heard screaming. Whether those tapes involve wild parties, phone calls, or something darker, Katt's claims suddenly don't feel too far off.
That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is? Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white?
And if Drake's voice is really on those tapes, it raises even more questions. What was he involved in, or was he just caught slipping? Either way, this entire story has been simmering beneath the surface for years. According to several media, outlets and legal analysts following the trial, the tapes are still sealed, but expected to be made public once the trial concludes. And if Drake is heard screaming, whether as a victim or participant, we're looking at something way bigger than just industry beef. This could shake up the entire entertainment world. The internet, of course, has a lot to say. One user commented, "If Diddy is this bold going after high-profile names, just imagine what he's done to regular people." Another said, "Diddy, put hands on Drake and Cassie. He's an equal opportunist, SMH." So what's your reaction to this latest twist? Is Katt Williams exposing something deeper that no one else dared to say, or is he just stirring the pot? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to watch the next video on screen because it's just as wild.